Hello everyone. I just want to try to be as brief as I can, and I'm dropping this quickly here because of Nnamdi Kanu's incarceration and his judge Justice Omotosho, I think. And I think it's the same Justice Omotosho that said Fubara should be grateful to the president for suspending him for 6 months and declaring a state of emergency in Rivers State. Yes, the same justice that passed Nnamdi Kanu to say he was not going to open a defense on his case is clear. You understand? And why it is clear is that he was given a judgment by the Court of Appeal. Okay? Judgment in his favor by the Court of Appeal. The judgment was not honored by the government of the day. He was still restrained and incarcerated despite the judgment to release him, to discharge and acquit him. So now you expect the same Nnamdi Kanu to open a defense on a case that was judged in his favor by the appeal court, that the government of the day did not uphold. If the government did not uphold a judgment in his favor, it means they are not going to uphold any judgment until it's in the favor of the government of the day. This same justice that is supposed to present judgment in his matter, the same justice that said Fubara should be grateful to President Tinubu for declaring a state of emergency in Rivers State and suspending him as a governor. If his judgments are in that pattern, how do you think Nnamdi Kanu will receive fair judgment? Because his judgment is not seen as justice served. His judgment is seen as siding the government of the day. You understand? So my talking and your talking on this matter before the judgment is not prejudice. It's not prejudice because we are not directly part of the case. If anyone is directly part of the case, you have no business talking on this matter until the judgment is served. But as many of us as are out there, Nigerians, seeing these things playing out, we can come out, we can speak as much as we can because we are not party to the case, but we are seeing what's going on and we are seeing it as a great injustice to the Igbo people, to the people from the East, and to Nnamdi Kanu as a person. It's a grave injustice and it should not happen. Okay, and there's this saying that the enemy of a man is from his own household. This particular witch hunting we're talking about, I doubt if it's coming from the north. If you notice, the president has not talked about it. President Tinubu, since he assumed office, he has not said anything concerning Nnamdi Kanu. Do you know why that is? Because I believe there are some powers from the east that are behind it. I believe there is a quid pro quo situation between those powers and the government of the day. Quid pro quo. Do you know why that is? It is because Nnamdi Kanu, he's been very violent in his speech. And violence in your speech is democratic. It's constitutional because your freedom of expression is guaranteed in the constitution of the country. Freedom of expression is not just freedom of speech, it's freedom of how you tender your speech. You can be violent, whatever it is, you are expressing your pain and your grievances. Nnamdi Kanu only came out from Buhari's time, you know, to shout and to vent against the killing of Easterners by people from the north. How will herdsmen come from the north all the way to the east? You are killing people and taking away their farms. You are kidnapping them and asking government to pay ransom. From the north to the east to do all of those atrocities. Nnamdi Kanu came out. It's the same thing we are facing today, that President Trump is saying they want to send people to Nigeria because of this same matter. Nnamdi Kanu came out and vehemently condemned this. He did not say people should take guns and go and kill the president, or take guns and go and destroy the military base and all that. He said defend yourself. Defend yourself against your attackers. He may have included the military that came to carry out huge genocide in the east, Operation Python Dance and all of that. He may have said all of that, you know, because they were killing these people and your constitution does not allow these people to carry guns. Because the killers are carrying AK-47s and other assault rifles. But your people cannot carry anything other than cutlass and bottles and sticks. But they killed them after killing them in a Biafra war. You are coming to kill them again legally. I mean, are they not human beings? So if Nnamdi Kanu vehemently made statements, strong statements against these things, it's democratically allowed. Worst case scenario, you want to say it's sedition. But there's no provision for sedition in a democratic government. And even if there was provision, sedition carries maximum of 2 years imprisonment. Nnamdi Kanu has been in prison for more than 2 years, if he was even judged to be sedition. But coming out to say terrorism, Nnamdi Kanu terrorism. You have not arrested Sheikh Gumi. That said we should pay terrorists, we should pamper them, pet them, bring them, because some people offended them in the past. They have the right to kill everybody all around the country because some people offended them in the past. Sheikh Gumi that is there, pampering terrorists. You have not carried him as a terrorist. You are calling Nnamdi Kanu that is telling civilians defend yourself. You are calling him a terrorist. You understand? So that makes no sense. And why I believe is people from his home, and I talked about quid pro quo, is that Nnamdi Kanu at best can incite the people from the east to defend themselves. And that will lead to breakdown of law and order. In democracy, there are provisions for these things. When there's breakdown of law and order all around the east, the president has the authority to declare a state of emergency in the east, whereby all politicians, all democratically elected offices will be taken over by the military. And there will now be a military takeover in the east to run the affairs of the east. Now you see where the quid pro quo can come from. It can come from the political elites in the east that are not ready to give up power. They don't want a situation where military will come and take over the leadership of the east. That's why they can be the ones behind this incarceration and trying to, take off the head of Nnamdi Kanu, because he will keep speaking for the emancipation of the people from the east. But these political elites that are so power thirsty, power hungry, they won't want to give up that power. They won't want to see the military come to take over. That's why they want Nnamdi Kanu to be perpetually behind bars or executed. So if Justice Omotosho will pronounce a judgment of execution or guilty of terrorism and all that, it will not be seen as justice in the eyes of us, the people of Nigeria, and in the eyes of everybody watching. It will never be seen as justice. So if you come out there to say he's guilty of terrorism, then it will not be seen as justice. And justice is not served when it's not seen as justice before the eyes of the people. And trust me, the world is watching. This man only came to talk about the killing of his people. You understand? The killing of his people, telling them to defend themselves. After the genocide, all the Christian and Igbos directed genocide in the north, back in the days, they killed them in their thousands. If you are an Igbo man, they behead you. Behead you ahead of the ones that they removed babies from the bellies of pregnant women. And if Nnamdi Kanu is coming to talk about that, you are incarcerating him, then trust me, you are being used. You are being used by people to fight their battles. And they are using state resources for it. And you are a pawn in the game because they are using you from the case and call it political, because this case is political. It's politically fueled. That's what I have to say. Please,